It's your boy Salvajee from the Salvajee Cartel, and I'm back at it again with another Naruto Storm 4 in-depth character guide. So I'm going to be covering Kinshiki in this video, and I do want to let you guys know, if you're new to the game, make sure that you guys check out my Essentials of Online Combat video in the description, and make sure that you guys check out the tutorial playlist in the description below, since a lot of the terms that I'm going to be using in this in-depth character guide have been mentioned in the tutorial playlist below. I have also covered every single Storm 4 character in an in-depth guide. So if you want to learn any Storm 4 character, check out the character guide playlist in the description as well. With that said, let's get straight into this Kinshiki character guide. We're going to go ahead and get started with some grab setups. So with that said, let's get started. 4 hits into the neutral combo, you guys can cancel into a grab. This is going to be a 100% safe grab setup. Your opponent is not going to be able to punish you because of this grab setup. 5 hits into the neutral combo, however, you are going to be able to go for a grab setup. It isn't going to be as safe, but it is something that you can pull off since the transition is pretty seamless. I believe that's the right term. 6 hits into the up combo, you guys can also cancel into a grab. And this is going to be a 100% safe grab setup. And last but not least, we have 5 hits into the down combo. As you guys can see, you guys can also cancel into another grab setup. As you guys have probably noticed so far, Kinshiki has more grab setups than Momoshiki, which leads me to the next thing that I want to talk about. Personally, I think Kinshiki is a better character than Momoshiki. Even though Momoshiki's tilt is very powerful, Kinshiki's tilt is also just as good. Even though he's a very slow fighting character also, for the most part he has a lot of utilities, and I think a good Storm 4 character is all about utility rather than, you know, just looking cool, because, you know, Momoshiki looks kind of cool. But anyways, with that said, let's talk about some item cancellations. 4 hits into the neutral combo, you guys can cancel into a speed down tag. And also 5 hits into the neutral combo, you guys can jump out of it and pop an attack pill. You guys do have to make sure that you time it correctly. The reason why you can go for an attack pill 5 hits into the neutral combo is because you're going to be sending your opponent back, and they're either going to 1 rebound or 2 block or 3 chakra dash towards you. If they chakra dash towards you, there's an opportunity that you might be able to get them in a combo, or of course substitute and get them into a combo for 5 seconds of extra damage. So 6 hits into the up combo, you guys can also cancel into an item, as you guys can see right there. Personally, you do need to make sure that you cancel it at the right time, because sometimes it's just straight up not going to hit. As you guys can see, it hit right there. And then of course 5 hits into the down combo, you guys can also cancel into an item, as you guys can see right there. So the next thing that I want to talk about is Kinshiki's tilt. Momoshiki's tilt is extremely helpful and very good, as you guys saw in my Momoshiki in-depth character guide. But Kinshiki's tilt is very good as well. There's only a couple of drawbacks though. So the first thing is his tilt is super slow. Like very slow. It can stop some jutsus and supporting jutsus sometimes, and it can also stop chakra dashes as well if you actually hit the tilt in time. However, from my experimentation, it's really hard to do that. It's really hard to stop chakra dashes and supporting jutsus and stuff like that. It's easier to do it with Momoshiki's tilt. With that said though, I do want to say that Kinshiki's tilt, guys, has very good range. In fact, this is a melee-based tilt in Naruto Storm 4, and this melee-based tilt actually has one of the biggest range in the entire game. I know Jubito has a tilt that has a lot of range, but that is a projectile-based tilt. That's what I like to call it. So, anyways, yes, you can use the tilt from long range, and you can also use the tilt at short range for a bit of a knockback as well. And another thing that I want to point out as well is if you use the tilt within range, and as soon as he punches the ground, you call in a support character, you are going to be able to land a support jutsu. This is really important because if they are staggered, they're not going to be able to block, and if they want to get hit by the support jutsu, they're either going to 1, have to take the hit, or 2, they're going to have to substitute out of the support jutsu. So another reason why I think Kinshiki is a way better character than Momoshiki is because he actually has an S4 ninjutsu cancel and an S4 ultimate jutsu cancel that can be paired with his tilt, like so. 1 and 2. Look at that. So right there, as you guys can see, I did Kinshiki's tilts, I switched to Mifune, I did Mifune's ninjutsu, and I was able to get some damage from the tilt, as well as, of course, the ninjutsu damage as well. The damage you're going to get from the tilt at range isn't going to be too much, but you can still do a nice transition into a ninjutsu. I do want to drop a disclaimer. When it comes down to the S4 Ultimate Jutsu cancel and the S4 ninjutsu cancel that you can pull off with Kinshiki's tilt, it does not work with every single character, guys. In fact, it doesn't work with a lot of the people in the roster. And we want to make sure that we make Naruto flinch again before we do the switch. Because if we do the tilt and we switch too early, the tilt isn't really going to be registered. So, when it comes down to Kinshiki team guide, I guess, here's a hint for a future video. You guys can go ahead and choose Sasuke, Kinshiki, as well as Mifune. These three characters play very, very well together because of the synchronization that you get with Kinshiki's tilts. And again, keep in mind that you can do a tilt into a ninjutsu cancel as well, as you guys can see right there. And I do want to point out, these strategies do work. They will work online. They are 100% safe. I have the computer to guard when damaged. So when it comes down to ultimate jutsu cancels, 4 hits into the neutral combo, you guys can go for a Rev ultimate jutsu cancel and an S3 ultimate jutsu cancel. It's super simple to pull off this ultimate jutsu cancel. So if you guys do want to land an ultimate jutsu, you know, just to like finish off the match, I highly recommend that you go with this one. If you want extra style points, there is also another ultimate jutsu cancel that is very hard to pull off. And that's going to be 5 hits into the down combo. Now, as you guys saw right there, that was an S3 ultimate jutsu cancel, meaning that I hit the opponent 5 times and then I dashed forward and then I did an ultimate jutsu. By dashing forward, I was able to get out of the down combo animation and I was able to pull off an ultimate jutsu. Because if you try to go for an ultimate jutsu cancel while you're doing the down combo without doing the S3 cancel to the left or the right side, you're not going to be able to land the ultimate jutsu. And I do want to point out, guys, that this ultimate jutsu cancel is very hard to pull off. As you guys just saw right there, I just missed it. So if you do want to pull this one off, make sure that you practice. And again, you know, if you don't understand some of the terms that I'm saying in this video, you know, make sure that you guys check out the tutorial playlist below. I explain a lot of the terms that I use in my guides. But again, an S3 ultimate jutsu cancel is when you move to the side out of a combo and then you go for an ultimate jutsu. Now I want to go ahead and talk about strike back tactics. So something that I didn't mention actually on my grab setup is that you guys can go for a grab after you get a strike back in. Another thing that I really like about Kinshiki's grab is that it actually puts some distance between you and your opponent, which is the perfect opportunity for you to charge up your chakra. Another thing that I want to mention as well is that you guys can also go for an ultimate jutsu if you time it correctly, as you guys can see right here. The good thing that I like about his ultimate jutsu is that if you're able to get the timing done correctly, you can easily land it. But at the same time, it's not as hard as other ultimate jutsu cancels after a strike back as well. So it has that perfect balance of a nice ultimate jutsu cancel. And of course, I do have rebound turned on, and I do have my opponent to guard when damaged. So going for an ultimate jutsu after a strike back, it is liable. So yeah, I was about to end the guide and I completely forgot that I haven't covered his awakening. And there's not really anything special to Kinshiki when he awakens. Like, he still has the same combos that he has when he's not in awakening. But there are a couple of things that are very important to point out. Like, for example, his D-pad moves, which I'm going to showcase right now. Let's actually just have the guard for Madara. So his D-pad move is super cool, but of course he is vulnerable a little bit. when he is summoning these out. So let's talk about some setups for his awakening D-pad moves. So what you guys want to do is 4 hits into the neutral combo. We're going to move to the side real quick, and then we're going to activate the D-pad move. Then his blades are going to get out of his body, which is going to stagger the opponent, and then the blades are going to push the opponent forward. So let's go ahead and do that again, and we're going to activate the blades, and we're going to send them in forward. Now you guys want to make sure that you dash towards your opponent and then activate the blades, okay? Because the activation of the blades is what is going to be sending back the opponent, like so, as you guys can see right here. And another thing that you guys can also go for if you like, which isn't really that much of a good setup, but you guys can go ahead and go for a grab, and then as soon as the grab is done, you can activate the D-pad move as well. Now, something I wanted to test out with Kinshiki is, would his awakening D-pad stuff go through ninjutsu or cancel out ninjutsu? I can confirm that that is not going to be the case. As you guys can see, I'm going to throw an Inferno style fireball, and it is not going to break the Inferno style fireball. Now you guys might be saying, oh, like it didn't hit you. It didn't hit me because I wasn't within range. So we're gonna go ahead and do that again, and as you guys can see, the D-pad stuff is going to be hitting Sasuke, so that's really good. That is something to keep in mind. But keep in mind, it's not going to be blocking out jutsu. Like, I'm going to call in Kisame right now with his Shark Bomb. As you guys can see, the knives are going to cut through Kisame's Shark Bomb. Okay, even though I tested it 5 times and it never cut through it. Oh, there we go. But yeah, basically, what you guys need to keep in mind, the D-pad stuff can cut out through some jutsu sometimes. If you have the right positioning, you could probably cancel out some chakra dashes with it. But personally, I think it's just too slow, and you guys shouldn't really try to do stuff like that. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my Kinshiki character guide. If you have any other characters that you want to learn in Naruto Storm 4, check out my character guide playlist, since I have covered every single one of them. Be on the lookout for more videos coming from me, guys. And yes, I definitely can't wait for that Demon Slayer game. I can't wait to make guides on that game using the same Naruto guide format that I use, guys. See you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys on my next video. Peace.